You know, companies like Amazon, Apple, Tesla, and Starbucks, they absolutely do not rely on luck to get where they are today. They aren't just crossing their fingers, wishing upon a star, and hoping for the best. No way. Instead, they rely on numbers. Really specific, incredibly powerful numbers. These metrics tell them with absolute pinpoint accuracy if their employees are crushing it, if their customers are genuinely happy, if their profits are actually going up, or, and this is crucial, whether the business is secretly headed for a cliff. These essential numbers are called KPIs, or Key Performance Indicators. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to see exactly how industry titans use KPIs to make the smartest decisions and why grasping this concept is your absolute secret weapon for business success and for acing your exams. Okay, imagine this for a second. What if your school just completely stopped using percentages or letter grades? What if you grind all semester and your report card simply says, "Good job," or maybe "Needs improvement"? You'd have absolutely zero idea how you were actually doing, right? Are you barely passing? Are you top of the class? It's a total mystery. Now imagine running a coffee shop the exact same way. You walk in, the customers seem happy, the employees look like they're rushing around staying busy, and sales feel okay. But after 6 months of running the shop totally blind like this, you look at your bank account and discover you are secretly losing money. Why? Because you were operating on vibes, not facts.
And that brings us to a harsh, but honestly vital reality. Appearances can be highly misleading. In the world of business, you just cannot survive on feelings alone. Businesses need hard evidence, they need cold, hard facts, they absolutely must have KPIs to survive and thrive. Because without them, you aren't managing a business, you're just guessing.
All right, let's dive right into this. Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with what exactly KPIs are, then move on to tracking the right numbers. After that, we'll look at a clothing store case study, cover some common mistakes and exam tips, and finish up with a clear plan to take action for success.
Section 1. What exactly are KPIs? The ultimate decoder ring.
Let's methodically break this acronym down. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. Key means it's essential, it's highly important to your specific goals. Performance looks at how well something is actually working or operating. And indicator means it's a metric used for measuring your progress. Put all that together, and a KPI is basically a measurable value that tells a business whether it's successfully achieving its objectives. Honestly, you can just think of it as a highly detailed business report card.
To really see the power of this, let's contrast two totally different types of managers. Imagine manager A walks into a meeting and says, "Hey everyone, I think sales are improving." Okay, nice, but that's so vague, it's totally guesswork. Now imagine manager B walks into that exact same meeting and confidently states, "Team, we have an 18% increase in sales compared to last month." Boom, right? That is hard, measurable data. That is exactly what a KPI does. It completely replaces "I think" with "I know."
Moving to Section 2. Tracking the right numbers. Categorizing the data.
Now, there are a few main categories that businesses track. We've got financial KPIs, which are basically your lifelines, things like profit and cash flow. We have customer KPIs, measuring satisfaction and retention, because without customers, well, you have no business. Then there are employee KPIs, tracking turnover and productivity. Operational KPIs look at your delivery time and production efficiency. And marketing KPIs measure things like website visitors and conversion rates. The big takeaway here is that tracking just one of these is never enough. Tracking multiple metrics across these categories is what provides a complete, accurate picture of your business's health.
So how does this actually look in the real world? Well, those industry titans we talked about use these categories to track literally every single detail. Take Starbucks, for example. They aren't just counting the cash in the register at the end of the day. They track daily sales, sure, but they also track average customer wait times, repeat visits, and even the exact amount of coffee waste. Or look over at Tesla. They're closely monitoring the number of vehicles produced, manufacturing defects, safety ratings. Think about it. If a metric like Starbucks' customer wait time suddenly doubles, managers aren't waiting until the end of the year to fix it. They investigate immediately because their KPIs just triggered a massive warning alarm.
Here's the catch, though. Not all KPIs are created equal. To be truly effective, your KPIs must be SMART. That means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. A terrible, incredibly vague goal would be a manager saying, "Hey, let's make customers happier." How do you even measure that? A brilliant, SMART KPI is increase our customer satisfaction score from 82% to 90% by December. See the difference? It gives the entire team a crystal clear, measurable target with a hard deadline.
Section 3. The Clothing Store Case Study. Solving the Mystery. Imagine for a minute you own a small clothing store. Last month was just incredible. Revenue was $200,000, profit was a healthy $35,000, customer satisfaction was sitting at a stellar 92%, and inventory turnover was lightning fast. Awesome job! Now, for next month, your revenue jumps up to $230,000. On the surface, you're probably ready to throw a party. But hold on, let's look a little closer. This is where things get really serious. Your actual profit plummeted to just $18,000. Customer complaints literally doubled, and your inventory is piling up in the back. What on earth happened? Well, sure, sales increased, but maybe your discounts became way too steep, totally destroying your margins. Maybe costs shot up, and customers were waiting longer in line. This perfectly illustrates why you cannot just look at the top line. KPIs reveal the real, hidden story that revenue alone often tries to mask.
Section 4. Common Mistakes and Exam Tips. Pitfalls to Avoid.
It is incredibly easy for good intentions to go totally wrong here. Mistake number 1 is measuring way too many KPIs. If you track 50 different things, you're just going to become paralyzed and overwhelmed. You have to focus on what truly matters. Mistake 2, as we just saw, is looking only at revenue while ignoring profit. High sales absolutely do not equal success if you're running the business completely blind to your profit margins. Mistake 3 is ignoring your customer KPIs. Unhappy customers today mean absolutely zero sales tomorrow. And mistake 4 is setting KPIs and then not reviewing them regularly. These aren't a once-a-year event. They need your attention weekly or at least monthly.
Now, if you're facing an AP exam, or honestly just making real-world business decisions, here is your golden rule. Always interpret multiple KPIs together. If an exam scenario tells you that sales increased, but customer satisfaction decreased, and employee turnover skyrocketed, should the manager celebrate? Absolutely not. The KPIs are flashing bright red warning signs. You must read the entire dashboard, not just the speedometer.
And finally, Section 5. Take Action for Success. Your 3-step plan.
Whenever you're managing a team, a project, or even a whole business, I want you to follow this really simple, memorable 3-step action plan. Step 1, choose the right KPIs. Just measure what actually matters to your specific goals. Step 2, review them consistently. Build a solid habit of checking them weekly or monthly so you are never caught off guard. And step 3, take action. Because let's face it, gathering all this data is completely useless unless it actually leads you to making better, faster, and smarter decisions.
So the crucial point today is summarized perfectly by this famous business maxim. You can't improve what you don't measure. Without measurement, you have no baseline, no real direction, and no evidence of your growth. KPIs are the absolute foundation of successful management, giving you the clarity and the confidence to guide literally any organization right to the top.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to consider. Think like the CEO you're training to be. Out of all the metrics we discussed today, which KPI do you think is truly the most important for the long-term survival of a business? Is it profit? Is it customer satisfaction? Or is it employee performance? There are really strong arguments for all three, and how you answer that might just define your entire leadership style. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing those numbers, and I really look forward to exploring our next big topic together.